Now for the worked example, so we have some diagrams here, and with these diagrams we are matching it up with one of these statements. So I'm going to put the letter next to the diagram that it refers to. And just to give us a little bit more direction, I've put in some little notes to help you out with what these mean. So not A is basically everything but A, so we take away A from this entire section. So everything that's A, we take it away, so we're left with this section of B and then the rest of it. So the only one that matches up with that is diagram number T. So this one matches up with I and this matches up with T. Next one, we have A or B. Remember A or B? The or refers to plus, so it's A or B, which means all of this together. So all parts of the circle together. So the only one that matches up with that is letter R. So that one matches up with double I, and we put our R. Next one we have is A and B. Remember the word and refers to both, and the only part that is both is in between the two circles where it overlaps, which matches up with letter U. So let's put that one in, triple I and U. So we're looking for that overlap. The next one we have is B. So it's all of B, which means we should see some of that, we should see that overlap and the rest of B coloured in. The one that matches up to that is diagram P. So diagram P and IV. Next one, we have B only. So B only is the B circle, but we take away that part, which is an overlap. So we don't include the overlap. And the only one that looks like this is diagram Q. So let's put that one in, diagram Q. And our last one here is neither A nor B. So neither means it's talking about both of these. So it's not A and it's not B. The only thing that is not A and not B is the outside, which leaves us with diagram S. Okay, second example now. Second worked example. So we have here some events. With these particular events, these are the first 10 positive integers, okay, so 10 positive numbers, and we have outcomes for event A, and we have outcomes for event B. First thing we're going to do when we represent these events in the Venn diagram, okay, a good thing to do as a practice is to write in the middle there the word both. And the way that we can figure out which ones are the numbers which are both, we look at both data sets and we see where there are common numbers. So in here, our numbers in common are 2, 5, and 8. They are highlighted for you in green. So 2, 5, and 8. Then we put in the rest of the numbers into A, the rest of the numbers into B. And there's nothing on the outside for now. So the numbers we're left over with for A is 1, 4, 7, and 10. So put that in, 1, 4, 7, and 10. And the next one we have left over is 3, 6, and 9. Okay, now that we have our Venn diagram, now we can do some questions. So your Venn diagram is just up here again. First one we have is A and B. Remember the word and refers to both. So we're looking at that overlap, and we have 3 outcomes out of our total 10. So we're looking at listing the following sets. So we're just after the numbers at this stage. So the numbers that are both in A and B are 2, 5, and 8. Our next one, we've got A or B. So that means all of A, all of B, so all of these numbers inside both of the circles. So we list all of those numbers. So we've got 1 basically through to 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we're just listing them because that's what the question has asked us to do. The next part, if a number out of the first 10 positive integers, so basically we have 10 total outcomes, is randomly selected. We want to find the probability that the following events occur. So if we are looking at our Venn diagram here, and we want to look at A, we have 4 outcomes here and another 3 here. So 4 plus 3 gives us 7. 7 over 10 cannot be simplified, so we can move on to the next question. So next one I have is A and B. When I say A and B, I mean both, which means my overlap. So I have 3 outcomes in total out of my 10. Can I simplify 3 over 10? Nope, so I can move on. Next one, I have A or B, which means all of the circle. So both of them over each other. So we add 4 plus 3 plus 3, which gives us 10 over 10. And I can simplify 10 over 10 as one whole. So if we're looking at our Venn diagram here, these are not actually mutually exclusive, okay? The reason is we have that overlap. When it has an overlap, it is not mutually exclusive, which means that they can happen at the same time. If we had ones like this where it's separate, that means that it can't happen, that it does happen at the same time. So imagine you are in school, you can't also be at school and on the playground at the same time. Okay, whereas this one could be maybe you like a certain sport and maybe you like a certain ice cream. They aren't related, there's nothing in common. Okay, last worked example. So again, breaking down the question by pulling out things that we understand and doing it step by step is really important. So we have a group of 50 adults, so our total is 50. 5 don't like to read either fiction or non-fiction, so we put that into our Venn diagram outside of the circles, so neither of them, and we put that 5 in. Next one we have 35 enjoy reading fiction, so this entire one will be 35. We have 20 which enjoy non-fiction, and we have 10 that enjoy both. Here is how you go for a Venn diagram. Always start with your both. And then we can see how many more we have to add to both of our circles to make our totals. So if I have in my fiction circle, I already have 10 and I want to get to 35, I'm left over with 25. And same as well, if I am doing my non-fiction, I need a total of 20 and I only have 10 so far. I need another 10. So that is now my Venn diagram completed. Next one, state the number of people who enjoy fiction only. So the ones that are fiction only, so it's our F circle, but without that overlap. So our number is 25. So 25 people. Our next question says, people who enjoy neither fiction nor non-fiction. That is the ones out of the circles entirely, and we have 5 people who do not like fiction, who do not like non-fiction. Maybe they just don't like reading. Okay, last question we have. Now we're doing probability. So again, we're using our total, and our total here was, remember, 50. So if we're finding the probability that a person chosen at random will enjoy reading, okay, these particular things. So first one we have is non-fiction. So our non-fiction ones are these two together. Oh, I've done that wrong. So, yes, our first one for non-fiction would be 10 plus 10, which gives us 20. If we can simplify, we absolutely simplify. So, if I have 20 over 50, I can simplify it into 2 over 5. The next one I have is non-fiction only. So, I'm looking at this circle, but I'm getting rid of the overlap. So I am left with just 10, and 10 divided by 50 I can simplify into 1 over 5. Next one I have is both fiction and non-fiction. Remember that and means that it is both So in order to be both, it must overlap, and we are left with just 10. So 10 over 50 can simplify into 1 over 5. Now on to your questions.